Howdy, everybody. Welcome to the Brother Sister Show, a family owned and operated podcast where two siblings keep in touch by talking about movies. This week, we're talking about Anthony's pick, Army of the Dead. But before we get into that, how was your week?
Mine was pretty good. Spent the weekend in San Antonio celebrating our grandparents' 50th anniversary, so that was fun. Went to my first ever bar. I mean, you were there. It was fun.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Very fun.
It felt weird that things are, I guess, getting back to normal.
Yeah. Kind of still like, I don't know. We've talked about this before, but it still feels strange. Like, it still feels like I'm doing something I shouldn't.
Yeah.
But fun. Especially when you can go out to bars and shit, you know?
Yeah, get wasted. Other than that, nothing else is new. Just I feel like we're both creatively drained about just the podcast, or at least I'm drained for just everything. I got to get back into it. I feel like I just buy myself equipment for stuff just to make myself feel momentarily better.
Yeah.
Like new lights, I got some new mic setup, some new gear. So I'm excited about that. Hopefully things sound good, at least on my end.
Oh yeah, spoiler alert, I don't have anything new. Whatever. Well, have you even streamed at all?
No, I have not.
Mm.
Well, I've been working a lot more too.
I don't know what I don't know what it is about this past month, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you follow us on Instagram, then you can tell that I have just not been posting, which
I
isn't
haven't posted on
great.
Instagram in forever. I can't even remember the last time I did.
On your personal one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. For me, well, Sebastian is the perks of him wanting to be, better at photography is that he takes pictures of me.
Oh
And I
yeah.
told him, oh, great, I'll have content for my Instagram. So I've been able to post that. But yeah, I don't know. Apologies. I'm sure nobody's like actually mad that I'm not posting whenever our episodes are out because they're out every Thursday, but I still feel bad about it. Like I still have not posted about Clockwork Orange. Um yeah, I don't know. It's just I think I always feel bad about not doing stuff like that, especially because it doesn't just affect me, it affects you too.
Right.
And I think though, having gone to therapy, the thing that helps is to know that times like that are going to happen where you're just not on, you're just not, for whatever reason, you're just not doing all the things that you thought you would be doing. And the difference now, because this happens all the time and it's always going to happen, but the difference now is that I don't beat myself up as much and I
Yeah.
don't get upset at myself as much. I mean, I apologize to the people that it affects, but like I don't know. There's no point in making myself feel like shit because then I'm going to continue not to do the stuff that I was doing before and give myself some grace in that, like, or both of us, where I have a full-time job and I have other side stuff besides this that I'm doing, and I have a personal life. And maybe what's coinciding with it is that we can go out and do stuff. I think that's the big change
Oh yeah,
because
for sure.
I'm trying to balance that where I'm like, well, now I have to. I can go out with my friends, so now I have to. When like that's not always true. Like I I'm still somebody that still likes being inside a lot and likes doing, you know, and I don't know, I think too I need to start reevaluating certain things and like because my time is going to be limited or because I want to go out and spend time with people that I love in person because I can, then I need to sacrifice some things that I do on a regular basis. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, plus we've been doing this like weekly thing for so long and it's just us, like no
Mhm.
one's there to help, like it just gets tiring. So I think we deserve a little
Yeah.
break.
Yeah, I mean, I
Um,
can't imagine it would be so nice if we, like, were a part of a network and we all we had to do was record and I mean,
I just like
it's kinda like you
it's
where
like
you edit and I don't have to do anything, but where I mean, you could still edit, but at least, like, the posting and the promotion of it, like, I just wish somebody else could do that so badly.
yeah,
But because it
that
is
would
a
be
full
cool.
I mean, I know because it's my full-time job, but it is a full-time job.
Yeah,
But I mean, I don't know. I keep reminding myself of what I always told us whenever we started. Like, it's nice if other people listen to it, but that's not like that shouldn't be the driving force of doing it. That should be the driving force of getting people to listen to it, but of the fact that we can do it weekly is good enough and is
yeah,
fulfilling enough. And I do feel creatively fulfilled, especially with the new format we do now. I will say I had a couple episodes where I didn't feel as good about it, but this one I feel like I hopefully did some I don't know. Especially when the movie's bad. Spoiler alert, when the movie's bad, it's kind of hard to like figure out what you're going to do, but here we are.
yeah. Well, I've like I feel like I've been creatively, like especially with the whole YouTube aspect of it, and I know I'm a little behind on the video essays, the
Yeah.
ones that I do want to make. But I have a couple of things I want to make outside of the podcast, as far as a short that I want to work on, or that I started working on. And it's weird because no one else in the world knows that I'm working on it besides you and whoever listens. But
Mhm.
I just feel like an obligation, like I need to work on it and I need to put it out as soon as possible. But like no one's expecting this. It's just interesting.
Yeah, but I think you telling people is enough. I don't know if you do this, but I have this impulse where sometimes I just let my brain do it at once. That sounds weird, but if I'm excited about something, if I want to do something and like finish it and be excited about it, then I think my mind is just like you should tell everybody you know about it. And
Uh,
so I do that a lot where if I want something to happen or if I am wanting to create something and hold myself accountable, then I will continually talk about it so that people will know that it's happening, you know?
yeah.
Hi, can you
I
please
just
move?
I just feel like there's a weird obligation for me at least. Because talking about it is, I feel like I can make it sound a lot better than what actually like comes out of it.
Yeah.
So part of me doesn't want people to know and then just be like kind of surprised. But then I just don't want to release it too at the same time because there's, I don't know, it's just a weird back and forth I have in my mind. And then at the end of the day, I'm like, oh, it's already too late. I shouldn't work on this. You know?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like it's it's really hard, especially with my I mean, and I think other than this, you didn't really do side stuff. And I'm not somebody that is an expert in this, but I have done like side things that I do money like that sounds weird, but like that I that I make money from, like design and all that. Um and it is a skill within itself to like force yourself to make time for that
Right.
because you have like you said it's not the only obligation is like one that you've created yourself but um so the self motivation is super hard and I don't
Yeah.
not a lot of people talk about that. Just like doing and even like this weekend all I had to do was just write up some stuff and it was still so hard for me to do that. No matter how small the task is, just like building up how like the fact that you have to do it
Hmm.
is already a lot.
I keep on telling myself this weekend I'll get to it, but I just need to do it. Just need to do this shit.
Do it. I mean, if I mean, I have producer experience if you need somebody to produce. I feel like that's basically what now having been a producer, I feel like that's just what my job is. Half the time is just reminding the director. Oh my god, did you hear Ari?
Hmm.
I hate
Weird.
when he does that cry because it makes it sound like I'm like starving him or like I'm like he always does that, especially when I go to the restroom and I close the door. It's
Mm.
like I'm torturing him or something just because I won't let him in the restroom. Anyways, yeah, it's just reminding you to do the thing
That
or
makes
that
sense.
it's worth doing. Also, one thing I will say is doing it at all is better than not doing it. Like, even if it comes out
Right.
shitty, the fact that you made it is still something. And one of the best pieces of advice I've ever gotten was, I think I've said this before, but it bears repeating. It was one of my journalism professors in college told us that the best way to start something is to write a shitty
Yeah,
first draft. So
that
even
makes
if the
sense.
first version sucks, just sit on it and then do it again. Or at least you made something,
Yeah,
you know?
we gotta get to it
Yeah.
this weekend, maybe.
I mean, what else you got to do?
Nothing. Not a damn thing.
There you go. All right, what did I make you watch? I forgot.
Oh,
Was it
yes.
music and lyrics?
Music and lyrics. Man,
Okay,
that movie. You were right. That soundtrack is very, very good.
very good. Don't you don't you want that first song to exist?
Yeah, the pop goes my heart.
It's surprising and nobody I don't can't but it's one of those movies where every time I watch it I'm like, how does nobody talk about this movie?
I feel like I've seen at the very least the music video for that song in the beginning.
I mean, probably it's like every other music video, so you probably have seen it.
No, but like when they first sang the like chorus, I knew it. So I
Oh,
feel
I
like I've
watch
seen part of this
all the
movie.
damn time, so there's no
Yeah,
way you haven't heard it before.
yeah. But it's good. I liked it.
And the song at the
Um,
end?
Song is very good. They were good with like building it up and not hearing the entire thing throughout until the very end. That was very good. I didn't.
It's a solid movie. I can't
It
think of
is.
anything I don't like from it.
I just didn't like the way the like the main star was dancing
Oh
at
yeah.
the end, where she was just like,
Yeah, that was the point
that
though.
was really weird. Other than that, it was a good movie.
I'm glad you like it. I'm gonna watch it tonight. I watched The Bodyguard the other night. I don't know why I
Oh,
said the other night. It was late. It was yesterday. Solid movie too. Man, I'm giving you all these
yeah.
bangers. You're gonna probably make me watch the fucking Snyder cut.
Don't
Speaking
give me
of,
ideas.
anything else you watch? I didn't really watch anything.
No, I just been watching Game of Thrones.
Oh, you watched A Quiet Place.
Oh, and A Quiet Place. Yes, I did.
I want to
Good
see it.
movie. The ending. Eh.
I saw something. I don't know if it's a spoiler or not. But it says that basically the third, it said like it's so dumb when movies they don't have a third act. It's just basically setting up for another movie. Is
Yeah,
that it?
yeah, exactly. It no, no. I guess there was a resolution, but it just didn't feel like a. Kayla said this when we got out, but she was like, uh, "Why don't they just make this a TV show?" Because that's what it felt like. It just felt like because it's pretty short too.
Mm,
It was only an hour 30, something like that. It felt like a TV movie,
oh,
but it was
okay.
nice to be back in the theater again. So,
I might go see that. Oh, have you finished This Is Us?
oh no, I haven't.
God damn it, Anthony.
I need to.
Because we need to discuss the finale.
Need to discuss This Is Us.
You're gonna have. I'm trying to like entice you to watch it without spoiling anything, but you're gonna have a lot of big opinions about it.
Okay. I have a lot of opinions about a lot of things.
I know, but this one you have opinions. I already know.
Okay.
And strong opinions.
Strong.
I think so. So I need you to
Fair
watch
enough.
it like now.
Okay.
Well, that's all I got. I don't know if there's anything else you want to talk about.
No, that was it.
All right.
Let's cut to the break.
Following a zombie outbreak in Las Vegas, a group of mercenaries take the ultimate gamble, venturing into the quarantine zone to pull off the greatest heist ever attempted in Army of the Dead. Directed by Zack Snyder, story by Zack Snyder, screenplay by Shay Hatton, and Joby Harold, the best name in the entire world. Starring Dave Bautista, Ella Purnell. Isn't that a hand sanitizer?
Purnell?
Purnell.
Purell is
Purell. Okay, Purnell. And Ana de la Reguera. Jesus Christ. That was really bad.
also known as this Easter.
Sister.
So Army of the Dead came out on May 21st, 2021, very recently. Other movies that came out that same day were The Dry, Four Good Days, and Seance. Right on. So since this is my movie,
Do you
I
not
will
want to say
go
what
with.
the critics gave it?
Oh, I forgot. Critics gave it a 5.9 out of 10 on IMDb,
Mm-hmm.
69% Rotten Tomatoes,
Nice.
of course, 57% on Metacritic. I completely forgot about that. Just
I was just
lost in
staring at
soup.
it and you just kept talking. Okay.
Well, what I wanted to talk about to start this off is actually the introductions of this movie, as well as other Zack Snyder movies, because
Ooh.
he does this. He uses
That's it. That's
covers.
the end of the topic.
He does them. He uses covers of songs to just show what's happening without telling. And I don't know how I feel about it. Specifically in this one, uh, just design wise, I don't know how I felt about the font. I don't know. You're in design. How did you feel about that like pink thin font?
Oh, yeah, it didn't feel like it fit this movie at all.
Yeah, that kind of bothered me.
That
I
was
mean,
like
this is kind of
A24 vibes.
yeah, little nitpicky, but it didn't fit whatsoever, and I feel like it was blocking a lot of the visuals. And I think an establishing sequence like this is, I mean, there's no dialogue. It's just the visuals, and I needed to see all of it. It was just very distracting to me, honestly. And the
Also
pink,
bold to do that kind of, I mean, I know it's his thing, like you said. But I was like, I just want to watch the Zombieland beginning.
yeah, it did feel like that too. Um, and I don't know. I feel like he does this so many different times. Like in Batman versus Superman, he does it, and I think the best one he's pulled off is in The Watchmen.
Yeah,
I don't know if
I
you've
will
seen
agree.
that.
Yeah.
That one's it's hard to beat. It because you don't know anything about these characters whatsoever, and I guess you don't really know about it in this movie,
There's
but
no
it just feels
storytelling though.
it
That
feels
one's
so
a
unnecessary.
story. And I
Exactly.
appreciated it because it's a comic book, right? So there's what are they called? What is it called when you make something the not the original document. What am I thinking of? Source material.
Yeah.
There's the source material that a lot of people, at least I'm not familiar with. I granted I saw Watchmen like way too young, but I wasn't familiar with anything that was happening, so it was nice to kind of be familiarized really quickly to who these people are. And this one, it was just like it didn't add anything. It wasn't interesting. Like Zombieland at least was kind of funny. It
Yeah.
like showed I don't know. Just this one was like okay. I don't know. I can't even remember what happened in it.
Yeah, the only
Truly.
thing I remember were two things actually. The whole like mother and daughter thing that happened, which
Oh
felt very
shit, yeah, and then they never
unnecessary.
talked about that again.
Yeah, and then the that visual of that when the Seaster shot up that zombie, it just felt like it was just to show how a zombie would be torn up by a machine gun, which is cool, I guess. It was a cool visual, but
If that movie is about this. You know, like
yeah,
Zombieland was basically that, right? It was just different ways to kill zombies, but that was it set it up that way. Where it was like this is just a comedy and he's talking about the different ways that you can kill them, right? Or like the different rules that he's built around them. But this one was just like this guy kills them with a saw and I'm going to do it
yeah.
in slow-mo.
A weird backstory that I think he tried a little too hard to have that cover slow mo feel fit. It just didn't. I don't think it fit well with this movie, like Watchmen. So right from the get go a little sour taste in my mouth. I still thought it was cool, and I was pretty hooked. I will say that because
Mhm.
I'm like I feel like I'll learn so much more about more than just two of these characters or three of these characters.
I
But
love an ensemble, yeah.
I learned nothing about the mom or the kid later on in the movie. Maybe I just missed it. I don't know. But a weird start to the movie didn't
Mhm.
feel appropriate, and that's all I had to say about that. Carry
I
on.
also don't understand his I don't understand his proclivity for slow motion. I don't get it. I
That's why
always
his
thought
movies are so long.
that's what I mean. Like the I think the only note, and I don't know if God, we've been doing this for so long. I don't know if I talked about Batman vs Superman during in the podcast, but I remember when I watched that and I was like, the audacity of this man. Who I didn't know who Zack Snyder was. I wasn't really familiar with other than that. I was like, the audacity of this man to have a 2 hour, almost 3 hour long movie, and 40 minutes of it is slow motion.
Uh,
Why? It's not as good as he thinks it is.
it's a little distracting, I feel, because you can do that, but you gotta like spice it up a little. You know, it just gets tiring, and you just get tired of it.
I think every slow motion scene after the Quicksilver one in
Mm,
whatever movie that was in, it just is not as interesting. If you don't do
mm,
that or something more interesting than that, then I don't want to see it. I mean, this one I will say I think he's gotten better. Where I think in Army of the Dead the only egregious moment that he used it was like the beginning, and that's kind of forgivable because you're trying to use there's it's a fun way to add the credits, but
mhm.
yeah, but there were still some moments of slow mo, and I was like, do we need this?
Yeah,
But he does. He's
specifically.
like, he should be fined for how many times he uses it in his
Yeah,
fucking movies.
there's a lot in the Snyder cut.
Is there really?
Prob Yeah. The only one I think that's like that does it any justice, or he uses it for its that has like a wow factor, is this like flash scene where he
Again,
kind of goes
Quicksilver.
back in time. But no, it's like it's completely different.
Oh,
If you don't watch the entire movie, I might recommend just watching that one scene because it that one was pretty cool. But
okay.
regardless, that's all I had
Oh,
to
that
say.
was for your first part?
That was my first point.
Okay.
That was it.
All right. So, I'm debating on what order I should do this, but maybe we'll just talk about Crystalia first. Get it out of the way.
Yeah, get
So,
Chris Lee out of the way.
okay. So, I didn't know this until because I didn't really care like pay any much attention to this movie, but Crystalia was supposed to be in this movie. So the role that ultimately was played by Tig Notaro, who was the pilot. I don't remember anybody in this movie's name. But she played the pilot. She was actually, that role was actually originated by comedian Chris D'Elia, but after multiple allegations of sexual misconduct with underage girls, Snyder ended up replacing his role after the movie was entirely shot, which is a bold move, and it reminds me a lot of what was that movie that Spacey was in, Kevin Spacey, when they replaced him with Christopher Plummer, rest in peace.
I do not know.
But that movie was I think it was the same thing where it was it was basically all done, and then we all found out that he was a piece of shit, so they had to replace him. Um and this decision was not a cheap one by Netflix. It cost them, we don't know the exact amount, but it cost Netflix a few million to complete this reshoot. And so the co-producer, actually, another thing about the budget is that the co-producer, Deborah Snyder, I'm assuming his wife. Do you know? Okay.
Yeah.
She said that the edits had almost the same budget as their Army of the Dead prequel that's titled Army of Thieves. Which another thing I didn't know was gonna happen is that they're doing a prequel to this, which like who they already did it and nobody even asked for it yet. Like what?
Yeah, I have a
Okay.
thing that kind of goes into your next point, but wow, holy shit. I can't imagine Chris D'Elia being in this movie, or like why
Yeah,
he was
why him?
originally thought to be in this role.
I think
I
it's
like
also
how the
hilarious that they were like, it's all done, and then they were instead of just be like, "You know what? We'll just, like, release a statement being like, 'Hey, we didn't know. Sorry, but here you go.'" They're like, "Yeah, we're gonna we're gonna, spend a few $1,000,000 to get this piece of shit
I'm gonna drop a bag
out of
and
this."
get Dalia out.
I
And like,
mean,
imagine finding out like that, or just finding out. I
that
would love,
day, getting the
yeah,
call.
for him to find out while he watched the movie
Oh,
and just like
Crystalia?
waiting. Yeah.
That'd be hilarious. That must be awkward too. At least, and not for him, fuck him, but like for for everybody, at least for Tig, and because she's had to do. I haven't watched any of the press stuff, but she's had to do the press for it, and so you can
Hmm.
imagine people are like every time they start out a question, they're like, "So you got this role after like it must be so awkward." But
Yeah.
she did great though. I wouldn't even. I don't even care about what I'm not even like. I wonder what his performance look like? I don't even give a
Oh,
shit. It's
I
probably much better. Hers is much better.
oh yeah, definitely. I I guess trying to, just because I was curious, I tried to picture it while I was watching this,
Me too.
and it didn't make any sense to me. And I
He
just,
probably said some like really annoying jokes that are not funny.
yeah, I can't imagine, or the way I imagined it was like his stand up, like his stand up voice.
I've
It's
never
like,
seen this stand before.
it's
I also
like
can't
really annoying.
imagine him looking as badass as she did. Because I've seen her stand up and I love her stand up.
Right.
And like when you see a comedian, you're not like, I wonder how they'd look like in an action role. But whenever she like that scene where she's like wearing the sunglasses and like smoking a cigar, and I'm like, holy shit, that's
Yeah.
a action star.
Great recast. Glad they did
Really
it.
good recast. And to get her to even consider the role, Snyder sent her a near complete cut of the movie. So basically, the movie that he already had before he had to reshoot, he just sent it to her and was like, "You want to be in this?" Instead of usual storyboards and outlines that most actors get, so that they consider a movie. And mind you, this cut still had Dalia in it, so they didn't cut him out or anything. Like it still had all of his performances in it. And of course, she did agree to it. But the next issue is that the timing wise, they had to do the reshoots in September of 2020, meaning they had to do it all during the height of COVID. This
Ouch.
meant that only key people could be on set each day, which was mostly just, and then after that, it was mostly just green screens and props. Because I think they used a lot of practical effects during this movie. So they still had them and they still used them. And also when I say key people, I do not mean the cast. So she only shot with the sister herself. I'm not gonna try to say her name again. And she did for that they only had a half day, and it was because I think there's certain scenes like the scene where they're talking about the whole plan and they're standing in that hangar.
Hmm.
And they had the reason that she had to be there was for I think basically that scene, that and another one because Crystalia is a lot taller than Tig Notaro is, and so the eye lines didn't match up. And I think that she was
Uh,
looking at her, or she was looking at that character, and the eye lines didn't match up. So they had to redo that. And there was some where I think they were actually like talking to each other and like interacting like physically, so they had to reshoot
hmm.
that. But other than that, it was just CGI, and it was wait, what was I saying? But yeah, so every scene that you see her in, she's just like, especially ones where she's in the group, just like inserted into those. And those were actually the trickiest parts to redo, as you can imagine, because they had to painstakingly insert her into shots and make sure that she had the same perspective as the rest of the cast. And this part took months to get right. And I will say, out of all the complaints that we're going to get into about this movie, the way that they handled this recast, the fact that they did it, and how seamlessly it looked to me was pretty admirable, because I was like, "Oh, it's going to be annoying because I'm going to be able to tell." And there were some scenes where I could tell, but like the scenes where they're all together and she's in the shot too, I could not tell at all.
Yeah, technically they did like a really really great job. I could only really tell was when they were in the actual casino and the lighting was dark.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I feel like I mean that's super hard to get
That's
Right.
nitpicky though. If I didn't know
Yeah.
and if I wasn't looking for that, then I wouldn't have been able to tell. The only thing I think that casting her first, I don't know if it would fix the movie, but it would have made it a lot better, I think. Cuz
I
she's
could
just so
see that.
funny. Like the dry humor, like everything about her is so much more funnier than I can imagine Crystalia was.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, other than the nitpicky stuff, they did a amazing job. That must have been super painful to plan and just get right
Logistics
because
nightmare.
you have to like watch the scenes and try to fit in. Mad props to everyone involved. They did a good job with that.
Yeah. Fantastic job. But it was all for nothing because no, I'm kidding. Well, let's talk about what went wrong. Do you want to
Yeah.
go with my notes or do you want to do yours?
No, I'll insert mine in.
All right. So there's a couple of reasons I think that this movie just ultimately didn't work. And the first one is that it was two stories forced into one. So first is the heist. And it's basically like what I think we started watching it with our parents, and I was like, this is just Ocean's 11 with zombies.
Yeah. That was Snyder's pitch.
Oh, really?
No, I'm
And
just
see,
playing.
I
He could
mean,
have
if it
made it.
was, then I would have sold it or I would have bought it instantly because that is real. That is such a fun idea. I think heists are probably, I'm such a sucker for them. They're probably one of my favorite subgenres of all time. Like, truly, any movie that you, or if you just tell me, like, oh, it's just a bunch of people that pull off a heist, I'm like, okay, say nothing else. I will watch it because it's one of my favorites. So you can imagine how stoked I was whenever I realized, oh shit, they're gonna have to go into a zombie invaded Vegas to go into a vault to just get millions of dollars that the insurance companies just like don't care about.
Very cool
Genius.
premise.
That's such a
Very,
good
very
idea.
awesome premise.
And then it went all to shit.
Yeah, he tried to fit so much.
So many things. And so we'll just get into that. So the second thing is actually the zombies. I think if you would have just had like, if you think about the zombies from whatever we talked about during the Shaun of the Dead video essay, if you had any of those zombies and you put this element in there, I think it still would have been a good movie. Like maybe not the World War Z ones because those are a little intense, but like like if any other ones, like Walking Dead ones, even Shaun of the Dead, any of those, I think that would have been such an interesting take. Even like I was telling Dad, honestly, if you just made another Ocean's movie with like George Clooney, Brad Pitt, all those people, and you just added zombies into it, 100% that would be my favorite movie of the year. It
Yeah,
would be just such a good idea and so fun.
it didn't make sense to add the notion that they have this whole hierarchy within the zombie world in the city because they didn't go into depth at all on any of that.
It didn't make any goddamn sense. Like imagine being in that pitch where you're like, okay, Ocean's 11 with zombies, and I'm like, oh, amazing, 100%, I'm in.
I
Okay, and
mean,
the zombies have a caste system. I'm like, wait.
whoa,
Well,
why?
hold up. There's a queen bee of the zombies. Okay, why?
And they need sacrifices to get in.
Okay.
And she's pregnant. We have a zombie
Okay.
baby, or get it, a zombie, if you will.
Oh shit.
Take
Jesus
my money,
Christ.
please.
No, I'd have been like, "Oh, can you
And
like
Chris D'Elia's
take?"
in it. That's the kicker. That's
What
like
a
the
fucking nightmare of a movie.
if I didn't have you in the first half, Chris D'Elia, pals.
Oh man. Wow. But yeah, what a nightmare. I mean, the zombies are themselves, they were pretty scary and I liked seeing that weirdly. Like I liked that they were strong, that they were fast,
Smart too.
ruthless, smart. Um
Well, some of them.
and then like the heist, it just all went to shit. Like they just had such good stuff going for it. And I think truly as soon as, well, honestly, I wanted to say as soon as they got into the Vegas area, but I think it was I'll talk about this a little bit later, but I don't think that's when it went to shit. I think it's when they introduced the daughter of Dave Batista. That's when
Mm.
it went to shit. But anyways, I have so many questions. First of all, why do they have to make them fuck? Like what's the point of that? Um I honestly was waiting for a scene of it.
Oh,
I was like, I don't want to see that. And I guess, I mean, trying to be, sympathetic, I guess it does make sense that they would keep that urge intact, but like again, why? And then
Yeah,
pregnancy, why? Like they change eye colors, but they keep their ovaries, like, huh?
it it's weird because it feels like it takes a little bit of um, I Am Legend
Yeah,
and
in the
kind of
worst way. But they weren't pregnant.
yeah, that's true. It just they if they were gonna go this like caste system, they needed to get like explain a little bit more. I feel like I don't know how they would have done that.
Oh yeah, like what the fuck are y'all even talking about? Like I think it would have been fun if they went into it, if they did that switcheroo but fully went into it, where it started out as a heist, like a fun little heist where
Hmm.
some people might die. And then it turned into like, oh, they're actually in this ecosystem or of the zombies. That would have been interesting. But they kept on with the heist shit. And so I'm like, nobody has any questions, like why she's pregnant. Like nobody cares about this. Like nobody's like, hey, they have consciences. Let's like fucking leave because I don't know what they can do. Like I don't know. And the I Am Legend thing, what that has above this one is time. It felt like, and I'm sure it wasn't this and it was just my perception, but it felt like it happened within like a month. And I'm like, they did all this shit within a month. Like what? Another thing, and the reason I think this part of me is like, oh, maybe it was time, maybe the whole like editing messed him up. But like I truly think that he's just not that great of a storyteller
Oh,
because the thing that makes me think this is because of a fun fact that I found where apparently some of the zombies were robots. So some of the zombies um like it's never explained in the film, but Zack Snyder did confirm it, and he said, "quote If you pay close attention, there's a number of zombies that are clearly not zombies. You see normal zombies, and then you see some robot zombies. So my question is why? Like, what is the point of all that? It just feels like he just adds shit just so he can." And he's like, "Well, we're only at an hour 30," and everybody's like, "Oh, that's good." And he's like, "No, no, I need an hour 10 more added on to this." Like, it feels like he has like some sort of weird vendetta against his moviegoers, where he's like, "I need you to sit in a theater for 2 hours and not get anything out of the experience."
wait, is that real? The whole robot zombie thing?
Yeah,
What the hell? That makes me like this movie like way less.
that's what I mean. Like, because part of me is like, "Oh, maybe it's just like there's something that I missed. Maybe it's." I use this term too much, and it's mostly a joke. But like, I'm like, is he? I feel like he's gaslighting me. Like how,
This is
like in
it just feels
Tenet,
like
where
all
I'm
over the
like, am
place.
I dumb? Do I not get it? But like when I read that, I was like, oh, he's just adding shit that nobody asked for.
Yeah, this that seems a little just all over the place. That doesn't make ma-
A lick of sense.
I I don't know. Like I feel like the same way with Tenet, but I could kind of see what's happening. But that
Yeah,
just
but with
feels like
Tenet, he had some sort of idea behind it. For this one, he's like, let's just fucking make them zombies and not talk about it.
heist zombie, robot zombie, zombaby, Crystalia, psych, Tignataro. It just yeah,
You know
all
what
over
it
the
is?
place.
You know what makes me like it so much less is because I'm sure he added that so that he could talk about it in a sequel or something. But to make a movie and be so pretentious to think that you'll have a sequel, that's what annoys me so much about movies like this. Or like A
Yeah,
Quiet Place, where I don't. Did we talk about this on the podcast?
yeah.
Okay, I'm like
That was
losing it.
like 20 minutes
I don't know.
ago.
I can't remember if we talked about it before or when we recorded.
No, we were
But
recording. Yeah.
like, I love John Krasinski, well, I guess his name. But the fact that he made a movie that, like, the first one was, I think that was a solid. Like, it left something open. Why are you laughing?
Sorry, I love John Krasinski.
As soon as I started saying his name, a burp, like I was fighting a burp that was coming out of my mouth.
I love
And
Krasinski.
so it made me sound like I was drunk. But um
Carry on.
oh, but the first, like, I think a great example of how to do this and how not to do this, even though I haven't seen the second one, but I mean maybe you'll agree or not. But the first one, it still left stuff open, but it was a full movie. Like, you don't have to see the second one. You wouldn't really know that there would be a second one, but you're like, "Oh, that'd be interesting. I'd like to hear this story continue." The second one, he's leaving it open because he's like, "Oh, well, people wanted a second one, so they must want a
Sure.
third one too. So I'm gonna leave it
Yeah.
open so people fucking ask for it." Like, it's so pretentious to make a movie with that mentality. Unless you're in the Marvel sphere that are always gonna make movies until all of us die, like, you don't have the right to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. But with this one specifically, like, cause I didn't know about the Army of Thieves, so that makes
Me
me
neither.
a little bit more upset because they ruined Army of the Dead, which is a zombie heist movie. So they didn't get that right. So they're gonna make a prequel that is a heist movie, a singular just heist, and I feel like they're gonna make a sequel that's just gonna be about zombies.
And
So
also,
why
why do
not?
it that way?
Yeah, why not focus on all of your creative juices on the zombie heist movie because that is pretty original. That seems awesome. Why just
That
go
evolution is
either
so
ways?
fun
Yeah.
to, like, start off a heist, throw in some elements of zombies, do zombie or do, like, a heist and zombie, and then fully do zombies, like, I exactly what you're saying. Because, like, in that movie Searching, I don't know if you've seen it.
No.
Oh, you need to see that movie. Maybe I'll make you watch that one next. I'll watch you. Sorry. But
Weird.
in that one, the director, I think just for no reason, but he put little he put a bunch of little Easter eggs where if you like it's on a computer, right? So if you he's like one of the tabs is a YouTube video and the others are news articles that are basically like hinting that Earth is about to be taken over. Like the Earth in this movie is about to be taken over by aliens. And so
Mm,
throughout the movie, I think the first time it's mentioned is like we've made contact with aliens or like there's some weird UFOs, people going missing. Like it starts to go like further and further down and the movie doesn't mention it at all. You just have to look at the little like news articles that are
that's
hinting
cool.
at that world that the movie's in is going towards an alien invasion.
Right.
And it has nothing to do with the movie. And that would have been so fun to do with this. But they
That would
fucked
have
it
been.
up. I just don't understand prequels. Maybe that should have been one of my bullet points, but I prequels make no goddamn sense to me. Cruella, a movie about an evil woman that wants to kill dogs. You think I want to hear about her fucking origin story? I don't give a two shits. And then Emma Stone was like, "Well, I want to hear Ursula's origin story." Who
Oh
nobody
yeah,
wants
I
that.
saw that.
Make something else.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm getting angry. I don't know why. All
No, it's
worked up.
fine. It's just a weird thing. All of
It's
this.
just so pretentious, I think.
Yeah.
But anyways, so these things, I think they work like we've agreed. They work well independently. Well, not the zombie fetus. I still don't understand that at all. Especially because they just nuked them, right? Like, well, what was the point
Yeah.
of having I don't know, whatever. And so I know that this is a movie, right? And that filmmakers can do whatever they want, that there's no rules. But like you have to have a purpose in your choices for it to make any goddamn sense. And what's the point of having robot zombies if you're not even going to talk about them or even show them? Like, why would you be like, yeah, that existed in this world? I'm like, okay, that's interesting. Why don't we go into that? Like, if the government is creating zombies, why? Like, what was the point of that? You just can't. I can't believe that he just threw things into a movie and just hopes that it all works because then it just feels like several movies that you're trying to shove into one. And I also just don't understand the whole like double cross of the heist. Remember when the guy was there? Like,
uh,
did they ever explain what the guy wanted? Like, did I even just like not pay attention to that?
it just even it's just dumb. He wanted the lady's head, the queen bee's head,
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
so he could sell it to the military, so they could make zombies, like control zombies. But then it doesn't make any sense because why have the robot zombies? Why not just use the robot zombies for like for that purpose? Why do you need the head?
Like to infiltrate.
I guess. I guess that makes some sense, but everyone's motivation felt stupid.
Yeah. And the last thing that I'll say that I just don't think helped this movie at all is the contrived father-daughter conflict. Like, it just felt so stupid and had no stakes, and I didn't care at all about them. So my first thing is, what was she mad about exactly? Like, but that he killed her zombie mom and she watched it? Like, well, he did
No,
you a favor.
no, it was weird. It was because I thought it was that too, and I think the movie wanted us to think that, but at the end, she was like, "Oh, that's not why I'm upset. I'm upset that you never like contacted me or told me anything or."
Fuck you. He had to kill his wife, you dumb bitch. Like, what are you talking about? Anyways, so I just don't understand why they had this moment of bonding. Like, they had, I remember this one scene that went, maybe I just wasn't listening to it because it went on for so long. It went on for like 10 minutes, it felt like. And mom and I were watching it, and I was like, they're still fucking talking to each other. And
Uh,
this was during the heist where they were like in Vegas and a nuke is on its way. And my mom, or my mom, do you know my mom? Our mom was like, I feel like, she's like, I understand that they have to have this talk, but why right now? Like, this is the worst time to do this. It just felt so stupid. And and then, so they have this moment of bonding where they feel like they understand each other now. And I think that's when they have the conversation. I do remember that now.
right.
And then they do that only for her to sneak away at the like, I think 20 minutes left until this place is going to get nuked, and to find her
Of course.
dumbass friend. She was putting everybody in danger at that point. And I do like moments in movies where people in the movie do dumb shit just because it shows their devotion or a love for another character. I get that, you know? Like, when you're in love or when you have somebody that you care about a lot, um I guess you will do stupid shit because you just care about them so much.
Fair enough.
Um, but you can't just, like we said, you can't just do that shit. Like, you can't just be like, oh, this girl, um, this girl really wants to save her friend. I mean, I have a lot of good friends that I love. Would I go into a zombie infested Las Vegas that's about to be nuked in 20 minutes to find them?
Yeah, I don't know
Probably
about that.
not, especially if they went in them when they're themselves. But anyways, so like, good examples of this, and people are gonna get mad because I didn't look up the names. But you know the elephant from Inside Out? What was his
Yeah,
name?
I don't remember.
I want to say, I'm not
Something
gonna
dumb.
even guess it. But when he dies, like, he knew he was gonna die, right? And that's why he like sacrificed himself, because like, that's a good moment where he's doing something dumb because he, quote unquote dumb, because he's gonna die. But he did it because he loves that girl so much. And it shows, it does an amazing job of showing that he loves her in a way that words could never describe. But in this movie, like, that's an earned moment, and a lot of people think it's like super super sad, but it's like sad and happy because he helped, but he also, whatever. It's earned is my point. But in this movie, her sneaking off for some women that we could only really identify as a good friend, like, we didn't really see much of a bond between them, at least to me. Um, and it just didn't feel heroic in that way or character building at all. It just felt like the next thing that could move the story along. And it just
Yeah.
felt so fucking selfish because she knew her dad was going to come after her. She
Oh,
could say, like, "Oh, I told you not to leave. I know I didn't tell you to come and get me." She fucking knew that her dad was going to come get her. And second, it wasn't just her. It was the pilot. The pilot had to go and get her. And honestly, I was waiting for the movie just to end after, like, Tig Notaro's character left, because
that would
honestly,
be funny.
warranted. I would have not been upset. I would have been like, you know what? Yeah, we deserve to be fucking left. Just so annoying. But yeah, that's what I think didn't this movie didn't do well. I don't know if you had any more things.
No, I just too much random shit going on.
I don't know. I think this guy, I've only seen, when I say this guy, I mean Zack Snyder. I've only seen a few of his movies, and I don't think this is a nuanced take. I'm sure a lot of people are saying this, but he just doesn't, I don't think he knows how to edit his own movies, cuz I didn't know he also edited this one, right? And a
I
lot
think
of his
so.
movies
I
he'll
don't know.
edit them.
I think so.
He doesn't know how to edit himself. So he needs to hire an editor. Because yeah, I think, I don't know, maybe not. He didn't write the screenplay, so maybe he's not to blame for that, but like, come
Yeah,
on.
it was all over the place.
Yeah.
Um, well, the last thing I wanted to talk about, because I talked about the intro, I want to talk about the end of the movie. What you think happened after? I mean, I don't think we've done this for any of the movies we've talked about. But what do you think? What do you think happened? So,
Well, first of all, I had to look up what happened to Gita. They just like put her in
oh
a
yeah,
chopper, and just like didn't say a word about her.
yeah. I don't. There's, I,
Another question
I
I had is
just,
why. So Dave Batista, maybe it's because it was the alpha guy, but like he turned into a zombie so fast. That other guy, it seemed like it took him like a full day to turn into a zombie.
yeah. I guess just it just depends.
He just built different.
Yeah, just build different metabolism. I don't know
That confused me a lot.
the way you die. Yeah. I didn't like the way that movies set up sequels, like you said, when it doesn't entirely feel warranted. Like
Hmm.
this one, the whole thing is, oh shit, I'm bit,
And
and he
he's
just
going to
like laughs.
Mexico.
Yeah, and he's going to Mexico.
Jump out the plane.
Uh, Do something. It didn't make me feel excited about whatever might happen. Like I said, why it does, because the next one is probably just going to be about the zombies. There's no heist. The exciting part about this world is gone.
Hmm.
Maybe he's the new alpha, but there's no motivation. Maybe they'll dive into the zombie baby, but even then, it's just you had it here. You had it in 2.5 hours or 2:45, whatever. You had it here, and you let it slide, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. I think people just need to understand of like. I don't know if this is how you feel, but I get so upset when movies like this just like fumble
Yeah,
because you have every excuse to make a good movie. You have the money, you have the backing from a major streaming service, you have uh you have obviously resources to create practical effects. You have all these things that you need and you still made a shitty movie.
yeah, yeah. Especially because all of that resources, money, time could have gone into someone else's story.
I mean, with just the budget to reshoot alone, they could have made something else. And they've said that they could have made something else. They made an entire
Yeah,
prequel, and I think that's supposed to be a show.
this could have been a show, and this probably would have been a better show.
Yeah.
It's just dumb ending. I
Yeah.
don't look forward to the sequel that might probably happen
Yeah, me
because, like I
neither.
said, they really fumbled with this one.
Another thing is that Dave Batista, he turned down the new Suicide Squad to be in
For
this.
this.
How much you would have bet it was John Cena's role?
Probably.
Yeah, so great choice there. Well, I
Yeah.
don't know, maybe not. That I can't imagine the new one's gonna be good.
You never know. Pete Davidson's in this one. He wasn't in the last one. Maybe that's what it was missing.
That's the key.
The Pete Davidson factor.
Can we get some like sort of campaign to replace him with Tignataro? Please? Or Tignataro, can you replace that fucking rat? Because that's the only reason I don't want to see that movie, is whatever that is.
It's
I
James
can't
Gunn,
believe it's
right?
real. Yeah.
That's or Weasel, I think the character's name. I'm excited for just that. That's I want the Snyder cut of Justice League, but just with Tig Notaro in
And
every single role.
you know that weasel thing?
Yeah.
She'd be so good in it too. But that weasel thing, that's so I was kind of hungover this weekend. I don't know if you were too, but that's how like if there was a mascot for feeling hungover, that's what it would
That
be. That's how I feel is this whatever that fucking thing looks like.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right, ready to move on to the family tree game. This will be an interesting
Yeah,
one.
I don't know what the hell have you done?
Did you do any research?
I did a little. Hopefully you picked this person. I have no
I
idea.
can't
I picked
imagine you would think I would pick anybody else.
oh. That makes me scared. That
I
makes me
don't
a
think
little
you should
scared.
be. I think it'll be fine.
Uh, I chose Ella Purnell, the daughter.
Oh my god, Anthony.
We're not gonna get through this one, are we?
I'm not. I have no idea what she's in.
And who did you pick?
Philip Stone.
Oh my gosh. Who is that, bro?
He's the only
Yeah, we're
person I could find that was in something I recognized. I have. I don't. I. You know what? I might even just call it now. I have no idea what she's in,
I
other
have
than
no idea
this.
what that guy's in. Let's just call it.
It's just the most
That was the
anticlimactic. So, who
that
did
was
you think I
close.
was gonna pick?
So I looked at people and I saw Clive Francis.
What is he in?
Clive Francis plays uh the lodger in A Clockwork Orange, like the one who like takes his room, and he's in the Lost City of Z.
I almost did.
Okay,
I almost did.
so who did
But
you pick
I
again?
chose Philip Stone because he plays the dad, and
Oh,
he was in The Shining.
oh,
What the fuck was she in? 'Cause she looks so familiar, but I never looked it up.
she's in Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children.
Don't know what that is.
She's in Maleficent. She's in Kick-Ass 2. Um,
Yeah, I would have never guessed any of those people. Let me ask. I think Sebastian got home.
yeah,
Sebastian,
Sebastian.
you got
I
one?
don't want to see it. Yeah, Johnny Depp.
Did you hear that?
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp. All right, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, Johnny Depp.
Okay.
Oh man, I bet he's one of those that he looks old to me, but he's not.
Oh, I don't know. So Johnny Depp. I'm gonna
Okay.
guess.
No.
Ooh. Okay, I have my number.
Okay, me too.
Okay, I said 62.
I almost said 62. I'm not even fucking with you, but I said 57.
50. Oh no way! I was gonna say 57.
Get out
I
of my
had it
brain. I
like
swear to
I'm
God,
not
I wrote
even.
that down and I was like, I should say 62. And then I was like, nah,
I like exact same, but the opposite.
weird.
He's 57.
Is he really?
He's 57. Holy
I
shit!
am not cheating. I swear
I
that was a guess.
I believe you because I was gonna say 57. I wrote it down. I was like, nah, he seems a little bit more older.
Now I need
That's
to pick a
crazy.
movie.
You want to do searching?
Hilarious. Is it on something?
I mean, I can rent it, I guess. I think T-Mobile has a thing. Oh, it's not now.
Wonder if I should make you see another
Another rom-com.
room. Yeah,
Room.
room. Ooh, let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Um, hmm. I'm gonna make you watch a movie I've never seen.
Okay.
Um,
What am I
you said
watching?
you'll rent one?
I don't mind renting searching.
Then yeah, do that one. I think you'll like it a lot.
Searching?
Do you know anything about it?
I don't.
Okay, then yes, I want you to see that one.
Okay.
If not, then let me know and we can pick something else.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Oh, but our next movie. Okay, so that Anthony's gonna watch Searching on his own, but next time we're going to watch something. I'm gonna break away from picking old movies because of probably just because of what happened just right now. Because I'm sure that was my fault. But we're going to watch Inside on Netflix. It's Bo Burnham's new comedy special. And I mean, full disclosure, we both have seen it already, but we loved it so much that I'm sure we're gonna. I'm. It's gonna be one of those that I watch all the time, I think. But I want to watch it again, and I really want to do a lot of deep dives into it, and honestly, probably have like kind of a therapy session
Yeah,
for the next one.
probably.
Cry a little. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I just a lot of I didn't want to get into it a lot because I know we're gonna talk about it
Mhm.
next week. But just creativity, how pandemic has been hit, and I feel like this is like is gonna be it. This will be it. I was talking about how the pandemic is hit.
I mean, other than the acclaimed series Antisocial Distance, I think this is a close two for my favorite thing made during quarantine.
Yeah,
But
antisocialdistance.com.
yeah, that's where you can watch every episode right now.
Okay, cool. Just checking.
Yeah.
I'm very excited, honestly, because I'll probably talk about the short that I want to make and how after watching this, I was like,
Well,
my idea
shit.
is like the shittiest version of Inside, but
Everything is a shitty version of everything. So,
yeah. Well,
and
I'm
that's how we should
excited.
end it. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I'm very
Every
excited. It's one of my favorites that I've ever seen. He
yeah,
did it again. He never misses, that man. All right.
Inside on Netflix.
See ya.
Bye.